5 years and still talking. This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Cue the announcer. Okay, hi, how are you? I'm Alex Bennett. This is the Ramble. It goes on until midnight Eastern Daylight Time here on the left coast of the United States of America. Okay, all right. Anyway, hi, how are you? I'm tired again tonight. Last night, for a week, I've been really proud of myself. For a week, I haven't used a Xanax or anything else to put me to sleep. I've just gone hit the sack, and sometimes I take a hit of the pot, a little bit of the pot to get me drowsy. But outside of that, I was just fine. Okay, so last night I was stressing over stuff. I have problems. I haven't talked about them yet, and I've been very quiet about them. And some nights I don't even feel like coming on. I'm so depressed about them. But I may talk to you about them eventually, but not. I haven't felt like it lately. But anyway, so I went to bed. I always go on the internet and I look up medical issues, and then I try to go to sleep. I'm nuts, right? The wrong thing to do. So anyway, I've got something that's been bothering me, and I haven't been able to sleep. But what I've done is I've found that by not taking the Xanax, I still get a good night's sleep. Okay, but last night I just couldn't go to sleep because my brain was just this thing, that thing, whatever, and. Quite frankly, it would be very nice if I could one night go to bed without a problem in the world. And it happens, it sucks. It sucks. So anyway, why am I telling you this? Does it matter? Do you care? Do you really want to know this bullshit from me? Probably not. I just, one of the things I guess that depresses me is that every day I hear something that makes me want to be here when it happens. And today, of course, tomorrow is the 50th anniversary of the moon landing. And there are a lot of stories about it. And then there are the big things about where are we going to go from here? And they say that by 2024, we will be back on the moon. Maybe not NASA, but SpaceX or somebody like that, okay? And that by within 20 years, we'll be on Mars. Well, I wanted to see that happen, okay? I wanted to see us go to Mars. And I figured when we went to the moon, hey, another 20 years, we'll get to Mars. But then we stopped. We stopped doing it all. We lost interest in the space program, which means we're kind of stuck with each other here on Earth, okay? So, but I looked forward to the fact that before I died, I would see us on Mars. And we could have been if we had just kept going, but we didn't keep going. And now it's possible for us to probably go to Mars. A lot of these things which were very difficult back 50 years ago are not as difficult today because of the technology we have, the rocket power we have, the technology and so forth, which will make going to the moon just a breeze. In fact, I think the Chinese have already landed a probe on the moon. There's already one up there on the dark side of the moon. So the space race is on again. And if it isn't going to be us, it's going to be somebody else. So the first footprint on Mars may not be an American, maybe a Chinese, maybe it may be any one of a dozen different countries or and in fact, the guys that are involved in the space program, like SpaceX, which is Elon Musk, he may not live long enough to see us land on Mars, but he certainly is doing a lot to get us there. And so all the people that are like the people who are driving the space program now may not live long enough to see it come to fruition, and that's kind of interesting. But we never went back after the 5 missions I think we had there, and I always felt, well, that's just stupid. I mean, just stupid to go to that much trouble. Why? So we can leave a bunch of Hasselblad cameras there, bring back some moon rocks. Every one of the 50 states got a moon rock. Did you know that? Yeah. Your state has a moon rock. Some states lost theirs, but every state got a moon rock. Where did I see that they had the moon rocks? They had some moon rocks on display here in Manhattan. But anyway, they're just rocks. Of course, they do have a slightly different molecular structure and so on. And they tell us a lot about the universe because it's stuff that's crashed into the moon that's made a lot of this rubble. So, we have a lot of space dust that we brought back. But anyway, be that as it may, I think it was a shame that 50 years ago we did that. And in those 50 years, I figured we could have gone to Mars and we could have been doing some other stuff too, But no, we stopped at that point and just turned into NASA shipping and hauling, right? If you wanted if you wanted a satellite put into orbit, the cheapest way to do it, or one of the ways to do it, was you hired NASA to put it in the bay of the shuttle, and then you sent the shuttle up, and then you opened up the bay, and then you pushed the satellite out into orbit. And so that's what happened. And that was, But that's as far as we've gone. We've completely wasted the last 50 years. And wasted the 50 years of my life, and I don't know. I think I maybe got about 2 years left, maybe more, maybe less. But and so I'm not going to be able to see that. I'm going to become stardust again, but that's a little consequence because I'm not going to enjoy. I mean, I wish I could live forever just so I could see where things are going. I wish I could live forever, so not because I enjoy life, because if anybody doesn't enjoy life more, it's me. I've been in dire fear all my life of stuff, and I don't enjoy life to its fullest, okay? But I want to live forever so I can see stuff happen, so I can see these wonders take place. But I could live another 20 years and maybe we wouldn't even be anywhere close to Mars because we didn't have the will to do it. Luckily, we do have private business now that is capable of sending up rockets, landing them, having them take off again. And, the stuff that Musk has been doing with these rockets that go up, and then when they come back, rather than land in the ocean and have to be retrieved, they come right back and land on a launch pad from where they took off. Wonderful. That's just wonderful. And how that works for a place like Mars is a great thing, because that means we can have people actually land, and then they can take off again, and then they come back here, and then they can land it again, rather than ditching these things in the ocean or having them be disposable. So we've come a long way, but it's Elon Musk and to a lesser extent Jeff Bezos, and to an even lesser extent the Virgin Galactic, which is what's his name? I'm forgetting his name right off the bat. Somebody wrote, if Earth really escalates into all-out World War III, I bet a lot of space projects will be pushed back for decades, maybe. Well, I don't see World War III, okay? I see World War 2.1, World War 2.2, 0.3, 0.4. I just don't see World War III. It's, we know what the consequences of that would be. And, it depends on whether we want to even call them that. I mean, couldn't we call some of these things that have happened in the last couple of years another world war? The world as we know it war. Okay. Anyway. I feel really bad about the fact that I wrote a short story when I was younger about a bunch of guys, how we have a what do you call it, a mission to the moon, and they have been able to take a mission to the moon, and they land, and what do they find there? But something that's already been there for years, as though man had been there once before. And the story went that, we had been there before, but why didn't we ever go back? And that's kind of, my little story has kind of become true. We never have gone back, and there's no reason why we shouldn't have. We went to all that trouble, and then we just stopped. We didn't build a colony there, or we didn't do anything like that. So, I don't know. But we got Tang, and that's good. Anyway. Hey, listen, I want to play you something. I want to play you something because it's terrible. It's so embarrassing, but I love embarrassing myself. Back in, what year was it? Jeez, I can't remember what the year was. Maybe it was maybe 91, I think. I did a special at KBHK TV in San Francisco. It was called Alex Bennett Wired Again. At least that was the original title of Alex Bennett Wired Again. However, the people, those assholes over at Wired magazine, said you can't call it Wired Again because we're wired. And I went, what the fuck is this? The word wired is, you get high, but that was kind of the double meaning. I was wired once, and now I'm wired again, but this time to electronics. And they said, you can't use that. We're going to sue you if you use the word wired. By the way, they're fucking assholes over there at Wired magazine. Anyway, I've held this against them ever since 1991, okay? So we had to, at the last minute, what happened was we could have fought it, but the station just went, look, one special we're doing isn't worth years in court with Wired magazine. So they took the title of it and said Wired Again, and they just scribbled it out, and that's how the logo was on the show. However, through various sources that I've been able to cull, okay, I repaired it. So I now have a version of the show with the original Wired Again logo on it. And this was maybe the worst special ever done in the history of television. I mean, really, it was terrible. I think it was partially because I hadn't learned a lot about how to use television. I did learn, and maybe I will show you on some other day. I will take a section out of that show and play it for you, where I do a thing walking down the street with people and talking to people and showing people my neighborhood. And that was the one thing in the whole show that worked. And when I then went over and started doing the Wired Again, not Wired Again show, Log On TV show at KGO TV in San Francisco, I took some of what I learned from that one piece and adapted it to doing television, and doing video, and found a style for myself that won me an Emmy Award, okay? And also that same thing that I learned about going around and talking to people and moving about. So I applied to the thing that I did for the other Emmy I have, which is the Sports Emmy for the World Beta Breakers show. So that was the whole thing. I'm going to show you the first opening and the first segment of this show, and you'll get an idea of how bad it is. But it certainly was a great show. It was terrible. It was horrible. So I'm going to show you the opening, and I'm going to show you the first segment. I'm not going to show you more because more would mean that I would be playing some music, which then YouTube would say you don't have the rights to, and blah, 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 and I don't want to have to go through all that shit. Even though we paid for the rights once before for the music, because the TV station had rights to music. But I want to play the first, this will last about, I guess, 7-8 minutes. I haven't timed it out. And this was the opening to the show that we did at KBHK, okay?
The following program contains my son, Alex Bennett. Please consult me before having children. No, that's...
My take. That was excellent. That was excellent.
Was that good?
Yeah. Can you just roll back and check that?
I'm here with Laurie Thompson, Chuck Farnham. Hello, you're live on Live 105.
Hey, Alex.
Yeah, the hurly-burly of day-to-day existence. We might hire some hookers. And this is the absolute God-honest truth. I'm back to the beginning of my career. I'm doing a TV show. Call up and give me a ration.
Yeah, reach inside
And
me.
You wore a Live 105. Oh, I got to tell you something. I've got this crew ready to shoot. Welcome back, Alex Bennett here, Live 105. The page is wet for some reason. See, I can't spell out loud.
You know the problem with her, Chuck? The problem with Lori is she just hates computers. I think she hates computers.
I don't hate
Wait a minute.
I am not illiterate. I have a power book. I can print an invoice. That's all I need to do.
That's it. All she cares about is something that'll get her money.
That's because I like human-to-human contact.
With a computer, you have people-to-people contact.
Well, here's how you can have human-to-human contact. I have a program in here called Taxi.
Yeah.
And what you do with that is you, find a restaurant if you want a restaurant.
Or you can just walk around. Find one that way.
Here's my website.
All right.
Eh?
Yeah?
Right there.
Wow.
Let me...
Wow.
I can take you anywhere with my website.
I'd like to really go there, anywhere. I like getting out. I like meeting people. I like getting in cars. I like going to parties. I like actually doing something, not just sitting in front of a little screen.
Come join me in my website.
Is that the end?
Damn it! Join me in my website. I can't take this any longer.
Do you people have any idea what this is like?
I'm getting an Emmy for sure for this.
This is really Babble on 5.
If you really want to be wired, you got to get hardware, you got to get software, and you go into one of these places like this. What are you doing?
Where's the Vogue? Where's the Vanity Fair?
This is a computer store, don't you notice? And these are computer magazines, Wired, CD-ROM Today, things like that. And the first person you've got to get to know when you come into your friendly computer store is, of course, your friendly computer clerk. How you doing?
May I help you?
There are 3 things you got to have for a computer. Software, software, software. Here we go. You get all kinds of software like Dr. Ruth's Encyclopedia of Sex or the Bible.
Oh, so you can sin and then you can repent.
Yeah. Well, which one would you take?
I'll take the one with the most sex in it.
Okay, the Bible.
Can I help you?
Huh?
Do you need help?
No, we're fine. We're doing just fine. We're just looking around the store. Thank you.
Is Mac or PC?
It doesn't matter. I'm just looking around the store. I happen to have a PC, but I'm just looking at your software.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm positive. If you could just leave us alone, we're just looking. We're looking around.
We don't really like tire kickers in the store, sir.
I'm not a tire kicker. I am looking for software. I don't want to be bothered. When I'm ready, I will ask. Okay?
Sure.
Fine. Good. Come on,
We have
Lori.
a sale on mouse pads.
We're not interested. We're just looking.
We have
We're
a
just
frequent
looking.
buyer program,
We're
sir.
looking.
You can save
You leave me
10%
alone.
on every...
Just leave me alone.
Can I help you?
I think I know what I want right now. Hey, sir, I need some help here.
Oh, you again.
Yeah, me again. Listen, I need...
I'll be right with you.
It's only going to take a minute.
I'll be right with you.
It's just going to be...
I'll be right with you.
I know you'll be right with me, but what are you doing right now, Mr. Label Maker?
Hi.
Oh, hi. Can I help you?
Yes, I need a SCSI to RS-232 interconnect.
Coincidence? We have one right here.
Great. Oh, you know what? Do you have one that's a little less expensive?
Well, hold on a second. Here. There you go.
Thank you.
Sure.
Alex, he's really very sweet. You should be nice to him.
Can you help me now?
What is it you want?
Well, I need a little more RAM.
I'll bet you do.
I'm talking about memory. Do you have any memory?
Memory of what? You busting up the store?
I need Sims.
Sims?
Yeah, memory chips.
Sims?
Sims.
They fired him a month ago. What is it with you people in Sims?
Fine, I'm looking for a SCSI port.
Try Long Beach.
Look, I mean the card you put in the slot.
I never heard it put that way before.
Do you have anybody here who knows anything about computers?
What do I look like? Some Seattle espresso jerk?
No, I just want to help a few friends get wired up.
That's why they had to let Sims go.
Listen, I'm sick and tired of you. I am just sick of this whole thing. I need help. I want help. Put that label maker down.
Okay. I hope I didn't realize it had music behind it, because when I first saw it a while back, it was so low that I didn't even see the music, hear the music. But let's see what if it gets through YouTube. I mean, we were talking through the whole thing. It was so low, and it's a version of Up and Away that doesn't exactly sound like Up and I don't know. Anyway. That wasn't that the worst thing you've ever seen. Now the woman, of course, was Lori Thompson, who was my newswoman, and let me see here, and that was John Dvorak, the computer reporter journalist, who made a special appearance on our show, and was a friend. And taught me how to drink wine a little bit. I'm not much of a drinker, but he taught me about one good wine he turned me on to. I'm trying to remember the name of it now. And that's all I ever drank. But anyway, it'll be interesting to see after the show, if you go and watch the show, if they put up a sign saying there is some problems with the music on it, you know, and it'll be banned in certain countries and what have you, but we'll see if it gets through okay. And if it doesn't, fuck it, you know. Anyway, let me see here. I'm gonna go to the phones here. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I pushed the wrong button. Okay, let me get rid of that. That's iTunes. I don't want iTunes. What do I want? Skype. What does Skype look like these days? Oh, there it is. Okay. As I push the buttons here. So anyway, so I'm here tonight, and I plan on being here every night in the next couple of weeks. I guess. I don't know. You know, I've had this depression for something I don't want to talk about, and it's kind of profound, and some nights I just don't. Some nights coming on the air here is a relief, because it forces me to take my mind off stuff, you know, I thank you all for that. Let me see here. Oh, here comes Josh Wheeler. Josh is an early adopter here. Let me find him. Let me see here. There's Josh. Okay. All right, Josh. Turn on your camera, and if you turn on your camera, Josh, you got.
It's still loading up.
It's still loading up, huh? Okay, because all I have is here is. Oh, there we go. Okay, there he is. There he is. Hi. How you doing tonight?
Doing good. Yeah, it's coming up on the screen now, I think, right?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, yeah, I've got you now, finally. Wow, really slow tonight.
Have you got some, I hear kind of a slapback of sorts. Let me turn this down here a little bit. Okay, all right. And everybody else, it's time for you to call the program as well. Wasn't that a horrid video?
Oh, I don't know. I kind of liked it.
You know, we'll see if it gets through okay, you know. They may just say, "Oh well, you know, it's okay, but we'll have to run commercials before your show or whatever."
Yeah. As long as they send you some of the money.
As long as no, they don't.
Yeah, I know.
What they do is they say that money goes to the it goes to the music rights person or whatever. So we'll find out if it happens.
No Phil tonight?
I don't see him. You know, it's just you. So quickly, what do you think of Trump?
I think he's great. He's, I can say without a doubt, he is the most fake tan president in the history of our great nation.
He really is, isn't he? It's funny. There isn't an honest thing about him. Even his skin isn't honest. His hair isn't honest.
I mean, I think my wife said one time, she said, there has had to have been a time where someone showed up and said, I need to talk to the president or something, and someone had to say, well, he's tanning. It'll be just a few more minutes or whatever.
Well, you know what it is? You can tell that it's a booth tan is what
yeah,
it
it's
is.
Like that spray on.
No, it isn't spray on. No,
something
it's a booth tan, and how you can tell that. You ever notice that around his eyes here, it's kind of white?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's because he has to wear those goggles.
Right, he's got the John Boehner thing going on.
I mean, how many people here bet there's a tanning booth in the White House?
Well, there has to be. I mean,
yeah,
there has to be.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know unless he does some kind of like marathon tan when he goes to Mar-a-Lago every fucking weekend or whatever. I don't know. Maybe they've got some kind of super duper fucking tanning booth down there or whatever. But I'm sure we paid for something.
Tanning booth. Doo-da, super duper tanning booth. Oh,
yeah, he is. You're right. There's not a real thing about him.
He is a complete, utter fucking phony. I mean, it's just everything about him is false. So
yeah, it's that's the only true thing I think we can agree on.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see here. We have John. Wait a minute. Oh, I have you twice now. I did something wrong here. I gotta get what's his name here. There we go. There we go. All righty. Let's see here. There he is. How are you?
Pretty good.
Yeah. We have Josh and we have Jason. So is there anybody out there who doesn't have a J starting their name who can call the show tonight?
Alex.
Huh?
I said Alex doesn't have a J.
Alex doesn't have a J.
But I am actually Jason Alex.
So I went to the dentist today. I have this dental insurance where I get $2,500 a year. Okay? And it's like 50-50 copay and so on. So I figured, I better go take care of stuff. And so I was going to go get my implant, right? Because I had a tooth pulled. And all of a sudden, they say, well, first you got to get your teeth cleaned before we can do that. So I go get my teeth cleaned. But they can only do, now this is the part I don't get, they can only do half the mouth today.
What?
Because my insurance will not pay for 4 quadrants at one time. At one time. So I have to come back next week, right, to get the other half done.
It sounds like you're being scammed.
And then I said to my dentist, I said, why is that? And she said, don't ask me, it's the fucking insurance company.
There's a lot of them like that, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, my wife always has to have it done that way. They do the top, and then she goes back, and they do the, it's like no wonder.
But it's not like they're not going to pay for it.
I understand it.
So why wouldn't you just do all of it and bill it 2 separate times?
Huh?
So why wouldn't you just do the whole cleaning one time, and then just bill 2 separate times?
Well, I have no idea why they don't do that. Okay. Let me see here. Let me get
Dan, you have to be able to go into your settings and turn the microphone from auto to.
I ain't said anything.
Oh Jesus! You're loud. You're too loud.
Your settings is on auto, so it tries to. It's like vacuuming the air for some noise, and it creates a lot of noise. So you have to go into There's something.
Let me get off here and get in the settings,
No,
okay?
and also put yourself in panoramic mode, please.
Okay, well, I just did that so I can get off the phone. But
Okay. Well, do what you got to do to get the phone going, I guess. You know. Let me go over
better
here.
now.
Put the.
Because he talked, but if he stays quiet for a while, it'll go back to the auto setting. And
There's Phil. Okay. All right. You got Phil. There we go. There we go. Hello, Phil. How are you? So anyway.
All right.
Anyway, so I know I don't. I should have asked her that. I mean, I said, couldn't you like do both today and this bill the other one next week? You know. But then it's like they go into your mouth, and it's like they're mining for gold. Okay, so first, well, Alex, you have 2 cavities over here. Okay, one looks like we can get to it. Okay, the other one is very close to a nerve. We may have to do a root canal. Okay, more money. All right, now. It says, oh, also you have a big filling over here that's starting to kind of crack. It's kind of opening, so we have to pull it out and put a new one. So the tooth integrity is okay. Just we need to put in this big motherfucking, filling. So now I'm thinking, I'm starting to add this all up. This is,
now you know why this dentist is cheaper.
No, this dentist isn't cheaper. This dentist is very good, actually, better than the one I had. I mean, the one I had is the reason I got these cavities, and I got this bad tooth back here.
You got the cavities because you don't brush your teeth.
No. I mean, we could have gotten this stuff earlier if somebody had been paying attention to it.
Come on. The stuffed derma from your bar mitzvah is still in the back of your tooth.
Somewhere there, yeah. Yeah, we didn't have stuffed derma.
Do you have a dry mouth?
Not particularly.
Because that's a big thing too with cavities, especially you get older. A lot of times you get older, your mouth starts getting more dry.
Yeah.
And then the saliva isn't there to dissolve the sugars.
Yeah. But anyway, so now I've got then she found one other. She said there's a little small cavity back there, so we have to fill that. So I have 4 cavities that have to be filled. Now, so it's going to wind up costing me $1,500 out of my pocket, somewhere around there, I would imagine, as my copay. My copay today was also $140 for the cleaning. I thought that insurance companies paid for the whole cleaning. But
Mr. Bennett, what kind of car you drive? I sell you auto coverage.
Yeah,
I get your car free every time.
I get a full cleaning, and if it's got to go deep, they go deep, $175, and they do the whole mouth.
Yeah,
and they give me a toothbrush when I'm done.
No, but this was this was 140. But
that's the copay.
No, that was the copay. Yeah, but I don't know how much. I thought that the insurance companies paid for checkup, X-rays, and cleaning.
That's what mine does.
Yeah. But mine doesn't.
And fillings.
Call your insurance company on Monday and see if you can give them the bill, and they'll reimburse you.
What do you mean? I don't need to give them the bill. They're collecting their part of it from the insurance company.
I would double check.
I don't think so.
Yes, they are.
$140.
I was told, Phil, listen to me. You weren't there. You don't know what you're talking about. I was told by my dentist this was the copay.
Okay, well, fuck you, but I would check it out.
All I'm saying is fuck you. This was the copay. I was told it was the copay. I wasn't
And you
told.
believe him?
I asked him, I said, do you then bill the insurance company? He said, yeah, and the insurance company sends us, the other part of it.
But the other part...
I know you live in New York, and I live north of Detroit, but a cleaning for me around here is $80.
Yeah, well, I live in...
100% covered by insurance.
I live in New York, and it's much more expensive here. Much more.
What was the cleaning? How much do they charge?
I have no idea.
Well, all right.
But all I'm saying is that I paid him $140. It was $70 for each visit to do each half of the mouth. So I gave him the $140 today. Got it out of the way, But anyway, so it looks like I'm not going to get my implant till the first of next year because that's when my my insurance replenishes. And meanwhile, what I'll do with the rest of it is I'll have like maybe get a couple of crowns, a crown replaced or something like that, you know. So I get my.
Will they replace them if they're not falling off or cracked?
I have a couple that are falling apart.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
why would I want to replace a crown that was already good?
I don't know. Why would you want to pay $140 when you're not sure even what they charged you?
I'm sure that it's probably another 104. It's probably 50% or something like that I'm paying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I just got a PPO for the dental and the vision. It starts on August 1st. Yeah. And so I'm not using Kaiser's dental and vision.
Yeah, well,
so,
what dental insurance are you using?
I think it's United Healthcare.
Oh, good luck with that one.
Really?
That's the one he's getting charged $140 for cleaning.
No. I've got I've got Delta Dental.
Well, no. That's right. It's Delta Dental. The PPO after I get rid of Kaiser is for the
and how
for
much
the Part F.
How much a maximum of a year for payout on their part do you have?
$2,500.
Yeah, that's what I have. Yeah. So how much are you paying for that?
$52 a month just for me.
So $52 a month is about $600 a year.
Yeah.
For dental?
Well, you know, it's good that you got the $2,500 because I used to have the $1,500, and you know, you eat through that without even.
There was two to choose from, a high and a low. So I said,
I think for the two, I pay $15 a month.
You took the what? The high or the low?
Yeah, I took the high.
Well, the low would be $1,500.
Probably, yeah.
You know.
I'm sure I'll use it.
Yeah. Well, this, you know, I want to get the implant done, and the implant. The thing I like about Delta Dental is they tell my dentist what they have to charge for stuff, and the implant they told them $3,200. That's all you can charge for it, and they pay 50%, so I pay $1,600.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I was paying $20 a month through Kaiser, and nobody took it. You know, I went there. I wanted some special shooting glasses, so I had them give me an examination, and I said, "Oh, okay. Well, I get $250 every 2 years for Kaiser towards glasses." So I said, "Well, before I get rid of these guys in January, I'm going to go out and get myself another pair of glasses." I wanted glasses where the reading part was on the top and the distance part was on the bottom.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Why?
Dan, are you still there?
I don't think so.
No, he hung up because his audio was screwed up.
Oh, boy. Okay. I wish you people would let me know when you're going.
He did.
No, he didn't. He didn't tell me.
He said he was going to fix it. That's when he turned his phone.
Well, that's when he was going to fix it, but he didn't say he was leaving, you know.
I guess he didn't want to do it well.
We got Charlie Wallace in here to replace him in that spot. Hello, Charlie. How are you this evening?
Hi. Well, I guess I'm okay. My computer crashed when I tried to call when you turned the phones on.
Really?
Huh.
That
took this long to reboot.
You know.
What else is on your T-shirt besides World of Coca-Cola?
That's
Is
it.
there-
Oh,
That's
Atlanta.
it? Oh, Atlanta.
Atlanta,
Oh.
Georgia. That's where I went to see the World of Coca-Cola.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were the Coca-Cola police there?
Yep.
They were looking for Alex. They were looking for Alex.
Yeah. Let's see here. Delta Dental covers little but is common employer insurance in California. No, it covers actually the $2,500. I mean, when I was at Sirius, I had Delta Dental, and it only covered $1,500. This covers at least $2,500, which means that you can get some decent stuff done. You know.
Yeah. So, is there a dental plan that's like a Part D type of thing when you have Medicare?
No, there's no dental. There's no dental. with
Oh
Medicare.
yeah, I know mine is. I think it's Cigna, and actually, you know, I think it's pretty good. It only covers like $1,200 a year, but I don't use more than that, and so all my cleanings are covered. And if I have a cavity, it's covered. And
Well, get to my age and you'll need it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, you know, I was told to get this thing called Part F, and
I know,
instead of
but you didn't know it was just telling somebody to fuck yourself.
I've never heard. Part F.
Yeah. They showed me all the different plans to choose from. It's for the Medicare, and Part F. I don't know. You can look it up.
Was it a call that you received to your cell phone from a number that looked just like yours?
No. I have. It's through United Healthcare, which is the
just as
one.
Bad.
It's the AARP one, but I'm getting it through my co-op. And it's the same price.
Yeah,
and he says it's the same thing as the AARP.
That's what I had at one point, was the AARP, the United AARP.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to have it,
Yeah, for me it was it's going to be $152.
You know what the problem is? I live in New York City. Do you know what it is here?
It's probably higher.
It's like $250. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said, why? When I was in California, it was only about. They said, oh, you're living in New York now. Oh, really?
Democrats like taxes there and high cost of things.
California's Democrat. Come on.
What?
Yeah, but we're high too.
Democrat. It's still cheaper there.
If it was Florida, it'd be like 90.
All of a sudden, Phil is involving himself in blatant socialism here.
Yeah. Veil your papers.
What with his Medicare and his Medicare supplemental and all of that, Yeah.
Well, you got to have it.
Huh?
You got to have it.
Yeah.
You pay for it. You might as well use it.
Yeah. Well, no, yes, you do pay for it. You may as well use it, but you also have to be able to do the hello, Jeff. How are you this evening? You have to be able to pay the what do you call it? The supplemental, and that's the problem. That's why I think Medicare should be 100%, and you shouldn't have to pay, anything, because you're paying for it anyway. To begin with, you pay for it in your paycheck every time you get paid, but you also, when you finally are able to get Medicare, it's taken out of your Social Security. I can't remember how much, about $100 or something like that.
$140.
Really? I don't know.
That much?
That much?
Yep.
I get a bill every 2 months, and I pay 2 months at a time.
Yeah,
you're not taking Social Security yet. They take it right out of my Social Security.
Have you even collected it for 2 months yet?
Well, because he's not getting Social Security yet.
Right.
He's going to get the maximum amount.
He'll be a complete communist. But anyway, I went to the dentist, and the woman did clean my teeth and did deep scaling on it, and oh my God,
that sucks. Is that where they go like below the gum line and scrape?
This is the one where they go down to your penis. I mean, they just
yeah.
I've seen ones where they actually cut your gums open. And
no, that's not clean.
Is that periodontal?
That's periodontal
root. Yeah.
I had to
and
have
it looks
that,
like they put tinfoil on them. I didn't have that.
Everybody over the years wanted me to have periodonture. Every dentist. Oh, you got to get periodonture. You need it. I'm fine. I've never lost my teeth. Everything's fine. Fuck you. But no, you got to have periodonture. Yeah. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I'm trying to bring. There we go.
They get more for that.
Patrick Blazek. Why can't I get Patrick in here? Patrick, for some reason, is not.
Is he on? Because I don't see him on my Skype.
Fucking handicap.
No, I'm trying to bring him on. There we go. It finally went. Fucking Skype.
Last night, I made my connection in Phoenix. I had 4 minutes until they closed the door. The first plane out of Denver, they kept delaying, and then I get an email, and I was nice, relaxed, sitting in the airport lounge, and I get this email that says, you may not be able to make your connection. We recommend you rebook the trip. And so they gave me a bunch of choices. I would have had to go to Dallas, Fort Worth, and I would, and if I missed the next one, it would have been 5 a.m. that I could have got the next flight.
Hold on a second.
So,
let me put Bree in here. Let me see here. I'm trying to remember what his name is that he uses. No, it's not up there. Yeah, boy. Here we go.
Bree, what's your Skype name?
Try it again.
Bree PGH, I think.
Okay. I'm going to cancel now. Bring this
Alex,
up.
did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah. Repeat.
Yeah, Phil, I coming out of Dubai, I was at the check-in counter for 2 hours.
Oh.
I'd gotten there 2.5 hours early for the flight, so I had only had a half an hour to make the flight.
Yeah, and I'm sure that airport is probably one of the most modern in the world. You know.
It was. We had a bunch of issues with visas on old passports versus new ones, and whether they were tied in and all that. I'm flying Tuesday on American, and I just had a friend online who had a American flight canceled, so I don't know.
Well, yes, I was on American, and that one was delayed, luckily I got into the same terminal, and I was only about 7 or 8. What do they call those jetways away from where I had to be, but it was so late, 4 minutes, and if I wasn't in the front of the plane, I was like the first person off, and I got off. I ran over there, and 4 minutes they were going to close the door and give away my seat.
I hear the grinding halt alarm going on this show. Let's see here. Not the most interesting story in the world.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has a challenger.
We've all come close to missing airplanes at one time or another in our lives.
Yeah, you got any missing stories?
No.
That's your job, to tell the stories.
No.
All right.
Well, my original flight to Chicago got canceled. I ended up having to go the next day.
American?
Sitting in the airport for 6 hours.
Well, you got
American Airlines?
No, that was Southwest. No, it was bad weather in Chicago is why they canceled.
You don't remember the time when in this country where flights were just terrible. You got to the airport, you never knew whether it was going to take off or not.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was better before.
No.
Oh
no. This was.
Oh, you mean the overbooking? Yeah.
This is the one where I was going to New York, and it was during this whole time when they were doing this. And what the airlines were doing was they were losing money, so they just were deciding that they would slow down the amount of time planes that were taking off. So your plane wouldn't take off on time until they felt it was filled enough and things like that. I mean, it was really horrible. And we were sitting there wondering about it taking off. And finally, we started protesting. And I went up with this one other person, this woman, and we were protesting the whole thing and saying, we want to talk to management. We've been sitting here for 3 hours waiting for our plane to take off. Nobody's telling us anything. Nobody's telling what's happening and what's not happening. We deserve to know. We want to talk to management. And they said to us, we're going to have you arrested if you keep this up.
What was the name of that gal?
Deborah Winger. It seems as though I didn't know she was Deborah Winger, but the next day I get a call in New York from San Francisco going, "Are you dating Deborah Winger?" I said, "No, why?" I said, "Well, you're in Herb Cain's column this morning, and supposedly they said you and Deborah were fighting with the people at the airport about the plane not taking off." I said, "That was Deborah Winger?"
Wow.
I didn't even know.
Amazing when they don't have makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah. The gal last night that was sitting next to me also had run all the way across the airport and was late. She had just gotten back from Ibiza. She was coming from Barcelona, and
well, you should have told me. I could have talked to her about Ibiza.
Yeah, well, I did, and I told her that you really liked Ibiza. Well, the plane was going to take off. I didn't have the Wi-Fi set up yet, and and I didn't want to. But anyway, she said that in Ibiza, and this is not her first time there. She said that they have stores that make, like hippie stores to, sell you the shirts and so forth. So it was like the way it was originally, the way you were talking about Ibiza. And she says it's not that way anymore. It's all tourists and little shops that play off of the old vibe.
I love Ibiza. I love the island.
Yeah.
But I would never go back. You know,
yeah.
there are places I can't go back because they would disappoint me greatly.
Yeah.
And Ibiza is
And also,
one
you're
of them.
not allowed.
What do you mean?
They don't want you back.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I mean, I love that island. I mean, I had certain places I would go that were just positively spiritual and just hang out by myself. But probably I couldn't do that anymore. You know,
Yeah.
Because this beach I used to go to at Caldo Ort was hardly anybody there, and every year we went back, there were more people there every year, but not enough that it was a. Now it's probably just jammed. You can't even get there. You know.
Is there some place, I can't remember exactly what you said, like Flora del something or other, Flora del Maro, or I can't remember the name she said. It sounded nice, but it was near there. She was there also.
Caldo Ort, and it's only a 28-mile long island. It's about 6 miles wide, so I don't know what she was talking about.
Nah. And and she was in Barcelona. She said Barcelona's it's just gorgeous.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
But when she said that she had just gotten back from Ibiza, I said, gee, it's Alex's favorite place, and she was telling me.
Yeah, not anymore. I mean, I wouldn't. I'm sad. It's sad that I can't go back there because I would.
But you're right. What she said is that it's turned into a tourist trap.
Yeah, well, I used to have this hill. I would climb up this hill, big climb, and at the very top was this Moorish sentry tower that had been there since the 14th century, and I knew a woman who lived in it, literally lived in it. And so I used to hang out there, and and every time I go back, I go up there occasionally because it was just it looks down on the Vedra, which is this rock outcropping in the water that is beautiful.
Those pictures you sent me of those two gals that you took, I couldn't. There was a lot of grain if you expanded it too much. Were those taken in Ibiza?
Which ones?
One was a gal, kind of a hippie gal, sitting on the side of I think on a wall, and the other one was in sort of an alley.
Yeah, that was those were Ibiza.
A brunette.
Those pictures were Ibiza. And the grain's on purpose, Phil.
Okay.
No, really.
Well, I was going to print it for you and blow it up a little bit.
Well, the grain is on purpose.
Oh, okay. So
I brought the grain out in it in order to give it that texture.
Okay. Well,
that wasn't a gal. That was Alex back when he had long hair.
Nah. She was beautiful too.
Huh? Yeah.
The brunette.
Well, the best
really
picture
pretty.
I have is the picture of the Sufi dancer sitting on the rock.
Oh, okay. You like that one better than the brunette?
With Vedra in the background. Yeah.
Yeah.
With Vedra in the background. And that was really terrific,
Okay, I didn't realize you wanted the grain. Oh, I'll print it for you.
Well, the black and white ones are not grainy. The color ones are not grainy. But I did have to go back over the years and adjust the color. And let me see here. Where are we? I have to find Hog Rider. Where's Hog Rider? Come on, Hog Rider. Hog Rider. There we go. All right. Hog Rider. Boom. There we go. There's Hog Rider. Okay. Come
Kevin,
on.
how old are you?
Huh? Wait a minute. That's not what I wanted. Oh, you know something? I just screwed something up.
Kevin's hair is jet black on the top, and
really? Okay. Hold on a second. I've got it. Who do I not have in here?
Jealous.
Yes.
Who do I not have in here? Oh,
I have to put a little bit of pepper in mine.
I have to put.
I got a little spot of gray right here that I've had for years. It's right there.
Yeah. Okay.
People pay for that shit.
Get a little Grecian 5.
Yeah, I did.
I just I can only go like 3 days now without shaving, or else it itches too bad. And I realize now when I go 3 days, all of my sides are gray just from last year. Like I just had gray like here, but now my whole entire sides are now gray.
Oh.
Like, man, 1 year.
We have the two J's here. We have Josh and we have Jason. What my mind is going.
So I had a question because I saw this tonight on Vice News. I thought it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
You see that Trump is now selling plastic straws?
I think that might be a mime.
No, it's not. It's not.
Really?
But because they were making fun of it on Vice News to a point, because they were saying how, he's saying on it, it says liberal paper straws don't work, so he's selling plastic straws. But then they also said that these plastic straws are reusable, recyclable, and BPH free. It's like, those are some liberal ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they made fun of it at the press conference before he got onto the helicopter to go to Mar-a-Lago today.
Oh,
Didn't
really?
his
They
new
asked him about
helicopter? His new helicopter damaged the lawn today. I think it burned the lawn.
Oh, I thought it just weighed too much when he was in it. There's some roots in the grass.
It was that extra bucket of chicken.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, I can't go back to Ibiza because it's just not, it's just touristy, and crowded. And I could go there maybe during the winter, which is kind of like it's spring all year long there. And
It's
maybe,
never been the same since the guy told the BG it was cool.
yeah. And then let me see here. The other place I can't go is San Francisco, which I hear now is just one big garbage heap.
Yeah.
In fact, it's interesting that Bubbles yesterday said that he was in Chicago this week, and it was cleaner than San Francisco.
I was shocked at how clean Chicago was. It wasn't clean like that when I lived there.
I'll say Chicago's not a bad town downtown.
Ask Jesse Smollett if it's okay there.
Oh, it's
Detroit's
fine.
not a bad town downtown either.
It's
but.
even
But
safe.
it was even clean in the neighborhoods. I mean, it was. So it must have been some big cleanup thing that they did.
Well, they probably figured, that's one step towards maybe trying to curb the crime.
Send them over to Detroit to see whatever they did in Chicago then.
Well, yeah, they paint those body outlines on the sidewalk. And, if you paint enough body outlines, it's all going to get painted.
Too bad Keith Haring isn't alive. He could do them for him, and they'd all be art pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, so I'm trying to stay awake tonight because of the pill I took last night. I couldn't go to sleep.
Oh, hey, Alex, sorry, I got another question.
Yes.
You were talking about you take a hit off of a vape pen that night.
Yeah.
Is it look like two batteries with a straw sticking out the side?
What do you mean two? No. Oh, wait a minute. Well, it's how do I describe it?
Is it a jewel?
Like
or,
almost look like this with
No.
Just
it's kind of oval in shape, and you put the cartridge in one end of it.
So it is a cartridge. Does the cartridge have the element inside of the cartridge that you buy?
Yes, obviously, because I can't tell how that cartridge works. And
What is your setting set at?
No, we don't have a setting on it.
It's not a setting on there because I know like my wife has one and she uses it for anxiety and stuff and it was we had it set really high.
Keep talking.
Alex has his set to stun.
Keep talking to each other. I'll go get it. Hold on a second.
All right.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Tony's calling, so let me just put.
We had to
Tony
turn our
in
power
the
down because it was burning. It'd burn your throat if you took a hit off it. Like it was like peppery, not hot.
Yeah. Mine kind of has that problem here.
And then originally, when you were saying you were taking 3 hits, I'm like, holy shit, that's a lot. You just need to take 1 hit if you're just trying to go to bed.
Okay, let me see here.
I was just in Denver. I didn't see anybody smoking
Is
pot.
9 people a full house?
No, you got one more to go.
10.
10? Okay, then I got to take the full house part out. There we go. All right.
Need one more.
There we go. Okay, talk to each other. I'll be back in a second.
Okay.
Yeah. You pulling a Tony?
Yeah, how's Mom doing, Tony? Any war stories from today?
Actually, the other night we had a gas leak from Con Ed in the street. My house was okay. We had the firemen going out till 4 in the morning. It's 2 houses over, and then all the way down the block to the post office. They had it. They can't go into the basement. They had to evacuate almost a quarter of the block.
Was that
so
the
now
meth
Con Ed
lab?
is still out. So you know what they're doing? They
Meth
got
lab.
an air pump, and they actually they got an air pump going into the basements of the houses, and they're sucking the air out and pumping clean air in. because the
You
carbon
guys have no
monoxide was so
idea
hot.
how hot it is
You
out
think
there.
that that's what
We
they're
have
doing, but it's
we have
really
the back of the
those
apartment
spaceships
blocked
that come
off
down
by
and
a door.
It's crazy.
And then you
suck
go
out your
out
brain.
I saw the
the,
video,
out into
Tony.
the
You got a lot of
kitchen area and
Italians
the
in your
living room
neighborhood,
and so
huh?
on.
Yeah, that.
And
my mother
it's
speaks broken
like
Italian. I heard them talking.
Yeah, I heard them all
The old
talking.
lady-
It sounded like they were ordering pizza down there.
What?
Well, actually, one of the guys owns a pizzeria a couple blocks down. But,
Anyway, here is what it is. It's called Moxie.
Yeah, I
Not
think
wrong.
I heard
Oh,
of that.
Can you hold it up to the other camera?
What? Oh, I see. Yeah,
Well,
because
it's-
you guys, that I was holding up to the camera. The audience sees.
What does it
Right?
look like the other side?
The other side is just blank. It's and I'll show the audience now. There we go.
It basically looks like a black penis.
Yeah, it kind of does. And what happens is you see this
Cockroach
part
with no legs.
Looks
this
like a
part
Pepperidge
here.
Farm Milano
This-
cookie.
This part here comes out. That's the cartridge with the drugs in it. But it doesn't have anything that shows you, if I show people this here.
No adjustment.
And now if I show you guys over here, because there's another camera they see it through.
oh yeah, I see some.
You see, but there's
Is that
nothing
right?
in there
Oh.
that says like, that changes color or anything to tell you when it's new.
Yeah, no, see, ours has actually a power level adjustment on it, probably how hot it burns or something. And if it's set too high, it wasn't like hot as in temperature, it was like
Yeah.
peppery. And it'd like burn your throat. And I had to turn it down so
Why do
you could
these
just get a
people
smooth hit.
People are getting these things and the batteries are exploding. And, have you heard?
Thank you, buy again.
No, people have been buying these things and the batteries have exploded.
Yeah,
and-
all this crap's made in China and overseas and stuff where they don't regulate, and it's also, they know what it's used for, so they're not regulating it and
yeah,
doing
well,
precautions.
I'm glad you're paying the tariffs.
Well, we got this as we got this as a gift.
That's an right.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to have this in New York.
Can't have anything in New York.
It's against the law.
Yeah.
Because
they should just legalize.
shipped
A
out
friend of mine
California.
lived in New York, and there was a home invasion in his house,
Yeah.
and he used his bodyguard's gun to thwart the invasion, and he
Yeah.
spent 3 years in prison. He just got out.
Oh my.
What I don't like about this is that all of them are flavored. And
Really?
I don't like it. I don't like the flavor. Just give me, and it doesn't really have the, the marijuana taste, that you're used to. If I want to.
Are you allowed to light up a actual joint in your apartment house? Like in where I live, you're not allowed to smoke a cigarette or anything.
Where you live? What did you say, Phil?
In Walnut Creek, you're not allowed to smoke inside a multi-unit building.
Oh,
Are you
really?
allowed to light an actual marijuana?
Not really. No.
Oh,
No.
okay. So you got a roach, huh?
Huh?
Yeah. What's that stuff you use to kill roaches?
If actually I would light
great.
this up and smoke it right now, but the only problem is that because I
check
took the
you, but they
pills
don't
like
check
that,
out.
I'll fall asleep during the show. So I don't want to do that. But no, this is the vape pen. It's
Okay.
yeah,
And the
it's-
other one's old school.
Yeah, it's very convenient, but the only problem that I have with it is I don't like the taste. It doesn't. There's something really nice and sociable about marijuana, and being able to light up a joint and pass it around, and the whole ritual of rolling it, and doing all of that, and it's just this. That's what's missing here. And the taste isn't there. It doesn't have that same marijuana.
When you exhale, does it put out a big cloud of vapor?
Well, here I won't inhale. So
Of course,
That's what Bill
Bill Clinton didn't either.
no, I won't. I won't inhale so that you can just see it, and I won't get high. But see that? You
Yeah,
see it come
that's
out?
just a little puff.
Yeah, I didn't want to do whole
Yeah.
thing.
Sometimes I'm driving down the street and I see people smoking these things. Maybe it's pot, maybe it's cigarettes, but the vapor is like filling the car, and it's coming out like a cirrus cloud.
Well, wait a minute, Jason, what do you got there? Show them, and I will put you.
That's
full,
the rectangular thing.
I will put you full screen so people can see what you're doing here.
You're muted, Jason.
Jason, we need you to talk so I can.
Sorry, I came in and I was actually talking and I forgot that I was muted.
Okay.
So
yeah,
this is what I'm talking about. It kind of looks like it's just two AA batteries with your cartridge on this end, and then you have to hit the button, and then it actually gives you a display of what you're
upside down.
Sorry, yeah, I don't use it that much, so and I don't know if it's backwards, but it shows the power level, and you can change the power level on it
now,
too.
what have you got there? Is that pot?
No, it is a tobacco product.
Yeah, sure.
Because marijuana at my employment is not legal, so I do not do it. So.
Oh, I see.
My state says it's legal, but
okay,
my employer says it's not. So
all right.
I can't do
Hold on a second. Dan just called. I gotta put Dan. Wait a minute.
I think you might have a full house.
Wait a minute. I think so too. But first,
Yeah, I'm here now.
Let's see here. He would be number 10.
Yep.
So let me see
That's
here.
good.
Dan, where are you, Dan? Dan. There. Wait a minute. I don't see Dan.
I just need to show you this too.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second, Dan. Hold on until I.
Yeah, he's got to get you on the other system.
I got to find you, and sometimes you don't come up until after a while. Scuba diver, Mr. Dan. There he is. Okay. When it gets to be a lot of them, I have a hard time finding the guy. Let me see here. Come on. Oh, I see why not. Okay, there we go. Hold on. There we go. Okay.
Dan wants to show off his vape.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
well,
Okay, Dan. Show us your vape. Go ahead.
This is called the ice shred.
Huh?
This is called the ice shred.
With the shred paper?
Really?
Ice shred.
Ice friend?
Ice shred like guitar and like iPod or something like that. Ice shred. Little I and the word shred. Like shredding sheet or shredding your guitar.
Yeah.
It's like an electric toothbrush.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So I saw Birdman last night.
What was it with Michael?
I liked it.
Movie
Yeah.
from like 15 years ago.
Good. I like that movie.
I don't know. It was on American Airlines, I saw that. I saw the Dick Cheney thing, Vice, and I started watching Creed 2. Yeah, Creed 2, but it was a piece of shit.
It was no good, all right.
But I didn't like the what do you call it movie?
Birdman.
Birdman. No, I like Birdman. I didn't like I didn't like the Vice.
Yeah, I didn't finish Vice. The plane got in.
I thought it was rather mediocre.
Yeah. Well, in the beginning it was all right. I liked when he started working with Rumsfeld, and when he was just a bum working the wires and the line.
What?
Climbing
A bum
poles.
working the wires and the lines? What?
I know.
One of your heroes, Phil?
Yeah. Oh, Dick Cheney. Yeah, I love him.
Yeah, he's one of your heroes, right?
Yeah. And they made it out that Lynn Cheney, his wife, was really the the guiding force behind him not being a piece of shit. But,
Didn't she play Dracula?
Was she there when he shot the other dude in the face?
I didn't see that part. The plane landed, but I liked Birdman. Birdman was good. I didn't realize that it was that good.
That was that Alcatraz movie or whatever, wasn't it?
No, that was a different one. This was the Michael Keaton. And what's her name? Lindsay Lohan played his daughter, and I thought she was good.
Lindsay Lohan was it?
Is that who that was?
No.
Was that?
I don't remember who it was, but it wasn't Lindsay
That's
Lohan.
Lindsay Lohan.
Boy, Lindsay Lohan? Are you out of your fucking mind? She can't get.
Oh, who was it that played the daughter? I could have sworn that.
I gotta look it up now.
Hold on a second. I'll look it up right now. Hold on.
I know Ed Norton was in it. He should do more movies.
Yeah,
He's great.
he was great.
He's phenomenal, that guy.
Yeah,
Let's see.
they all were. It was very well
Vice.
done.
Oh, great. Why am I getting a hamburger ad?
Because she didn't pay to not have ads.
Huh?
Yeah.
Well, what is this? Where did this come from?
Hamburger.
Here we go. Vice. There we go. Okay.
Was she
Emma
in it?
Stone.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, she was in Spider-Man, Emma Stone, yeah.
Well,
I think she
playing his daughter.
Yeah.
That was Allison
Yeah,
Pill.
Stone.
Who?
Allison Pill.
Really?
Yeah, that was Allison Pill. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, she was damn good, and I thought she was cute.
Well, that's why you should have known it wasn't Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, I thought that's who it was. What movie did she just do that they were concerned that she was going to fuck it up, but she did a good job?
Nothing that I know of.
Nothing?
No.
I don't know.
Phil, the most
Anyway.
misinformed man in America.
Well, hey, I
He's
didn't
on
see
the
the
plane.
credits, and if I did see the credits, I wouldn't have known who they were anyway.
Yeah.
What do you expect? He watches Fox News all the time.
I know
Dude,
who they are.
I have no idea who celebrities are. I don't pay attention to who they are. I don't know their name. You could say, oh, it was so-and-so from what movie? And I'm like, okay, well, what character did they play? Because I don't really give a fuck who a celebrity is.
The reason I knew it was it Michael Keaton is because Tony just said so.
Remember in Spring
Well, I
Night?
remember Michael Keaton from Batman when he was big in the 80s.
Yeah.
I always liked Michael Keaton. I always thought he was good.
So is that what the reference was that to Birdman, the Batman reference? That
I
he was
think
an
that was
movie actor?
thinly veiled because it was talking about the Birdman movies, and I think it was like a thinly veiled reference
Well,
to that.
no, it's
but
not.
they
It's not
probably
it wasn't meant to be thinly veiled. Okay,
Yeah.
it was meant. It was meant to be a parody on someone who played somebody like Batman, in this case Birdman, and how
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
life had been kind of toned by that. Okay,
right.
and it's but there was nothing thinly veiled about it. They got the right guy to play the part because that's his life story in a strange way.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, It's,
But it's
Anyway,
like
I liked it.
yeah,
thought
it
well
was a
done.
very good movie. Michael Keaton did a very good job.
Is that one of the ones you voted for, Alex? When you got
no.
No?
He's a Pittsburgh boy.
Who?
Michael Keaton.
Is he
Oh.
really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've met him.
Yeah, because he's a Pittsburgh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You in Pittsburgh
most-
right now?
Yeah, he's in
Most
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh celebrities,
Yeah.
Yeah.
at some point or another, I've met them.
Yeah. So when are you going to be in Kuala Lumpur? When does that happen?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Boy, you're just the international guy, aren't you? Huh?
Jet lag, big time.
Yeah.
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 Probably a good time to be getting out of where you're at.
When I go west, it's not as bad as for me as going east. If I go to Europe, it takes me 3 days to get over the jet lag. If I go to Hawaii, there's no jet lag.
Bob, what is the time difference?
Yeah, well, there's a time difference the other way too.
It's same?
Yeah, but it's like 7 hours, 8 hours the other way.
Yeah, I was say it's 7 hours from me for here, and you're 3 hours. That's like 10 hours.
Well,
Even from New York to Europe, I get jet lag.
And for me, traveling between,
125th Street.
No, between San
The
Francisco.
office to the bathroom.
From my bedroom to the bathroom.
Between San Francisco and between New York and California is that the time difference gets to me because here, like when it's 3 o'clock in California, it's 1967. So,
It's true.
anyway, let's see here. What I found absolutely. Oh yes, do you have your hand up, Dan?
Oh, I was just I was just reminded. I wanted to ask Phil about. Have you heard about like the person hole covers? You live in Berkeley, right?
Oh, it's not manhole. No, I moved from Berkeley. I'm in Walnut Creek now.
Hole covers or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah,
they
they
had
can't
gender
I
neutralized.
saw something that they can't call it a manhole any longer.
Why?
I thought that was fun.
They're maintenance covers.
Yeah, the manhole covers are now called something else. I don't know.
Why were they called manhole covers anyway?
They cover up either utilities or sewer things that are in the street, and then they would take these big metal covers off so that a maintenance man could go down into whatever.
Yeah, they changed like 200
Who
terms
does
or
that?
300 terms.
Ed Norton does that.
Oh, remember? Yeah.
The honeymoon.
Do you know why manhole covers
They don't
are
call
round?
it manpower now. They call it people engagement or some crap.
And it can't be a pregnant woman. It's a pregnant employee.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, the manhole cover's round because then no matter what position you put it back in, it's always in the right position.
No, actually, it's so it can't fall in. It's the only shape that won't be able to fall in.
Yeah?
Yeah. Any other
That's
shape you
true.
can put at an
Square,
angle.
rectangle, triangle. Yeah, they could all fall in.
Yep.
Why? Wait a minute. This makes no sense to me at all. What are you saying? That a round thing can't fall through?
A round circle that's a little bit bigger on the top can't fall through a round hole.
Right. Well,
but
if it's square, if it was square, and it was a little bit
all
bigger,
sides are equal. I get it.
A little bit bigger on the top of the lip.
You can move
it. It could fall in diagonally.
Yeah,
I think
to corner to corner. Corner to
They could
corner.
get stuck that way, maybe.
I don't think that's the reason. I think the reason is that being round, you could just place it any way you wanted to and just get it back there.
Quicker
No,
that way.
because we have fiber. It's called the hand hole, and it's not as deep. Those are rectangular shape, but yeah. That's. I watched stuff because there was actually on a Mr.
I thought
Science
they call
or
that
whatever.
fisting, and hand job.
Not the hand hole.
So what are they calling the covers? The people covers?
It's the glory hole.
Only in San Francisco in the Castro district.
Well, 3 of them blew up on my block this week.
You ever seen a square glory hole?
round peg in a square hole.
That hurts.
Yeah.
Ouch.
It's like a perfection.
So, I'm amazed that we have a president who just absolutely. We were talking earlier about how he is just a complete phony in every way. His tan is fake. His hair is fake.
I heard you say that. And now, had you ever thought that the guy's out playing golf 24/7? He's in Florida and he's wearing sunglasses. Isn't that why you get the raccoon eyes?
No, those raccoon eyes are from those little things.
Yeah, that's from a tanning booth, no doubt.
That's from a tanning booth.
Phil, it's pigment. It's pigment.
Yeah.
Am I orange? I work outside. Am I orange?
Yes, you are.
I'm
But
orange.
you're Mexican orange.
But anyway, what amazed me is that this guy is just, he lies without any guilt whatsoever, in spite of the fact that people go, let's go to the videotape.
Oh,
Kick her out. Kick her out.
Yeah.
Kick her out.
Yeah.
No, send her back.
Send her back. Let's go to the videotape. I immediately started talking. I didn't let them keep shouting.
Well, he waited until they stopped, and
That's right. And he also, at one point,
He nodded a couple
he
times.
gave him a nod like,
And he did the exact same
yeah.
thing with the locker.
We also talked about it last night, and he backtracked again today. He just totally shit on everything we said last night, and we figured he was going to do that, and he backtracked. He endorsed him and said, "Look at those Patriots."
That's exactly what I said was going to happen.
I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, that's what I said too. He endorsed the Patriots that said that now.
Yeah.
I thought they were saying that he sort of made not an apology, but he kind of
Yeah, he
back
did. But you were on the
based
plane when
Melania.
he was. When
does
you were on the
everything
plane, he was endorsing
for
all the
anybody.
patriots that said that.
Oh, that's because some people said he threw them under the bus.
Yeah, he did for a minute.
The first time, yeah.
He tried, but he couldn't get away with it because the proof's right there in front of us that he didn't.
The proof doesn't
So
mean
he said all those
anything, Dan.
people that he could have sold out that place 10 times over, and all those people that were there, were just a bunch of good patriots. So,
how many people do you think
He'll
are
say
actually
20
there?
different
How many people do you think are there?
30 or 40,000 in some venues.
I didn't ask that question, Phil. You let me finish asking the fucking question.
I saw 30 or 40 on the screen.
I thought it was 20.
Half of them are actually
30, 40.
supporters.
That's
The other half are just spectators.
No,
Almost as many as watch Gabnet.
The question is, how many people do you think were there just for the laughs? You know, weren't there because of
50%.
any political agenda or anything like that. They wanted
Just
to go
the CNN news guys.
They wanted to go see this moron do his comedy act.
Well, we know one got kicked out, so that's one.
Yeah, it was just the guys from CNN.
Mm.
Did they let in
I'm bugging out. I
MSNBC in there?
cannot last. I'm fading fast, so I will hopefully catch you on next week.
Oh,
ended a full house.
Okay, well, you ended a full house. Thank you very much. Have a nice night, Bree.
I was going to call in and replace you.
Let me see. I got to do some adjustments here. Who do I move up? Okay, I'll move Dan up into that slot.
Oh, we're back to the Brady Bunch look now.
Back into that slot. Let's see here. I have 8. Number 8 will go to Mr. Dan. There we go. Okay. Did that change it? That's right. And then I go up here, and we go here, and I think we're okay now. Let me see here. Who we got?
You see, people on Gabnet get to hear how the salami is
Wait a minute.
made.
Jeff, are you there? Jeff has not been there all night.
I thought he was frozen. I didn't know, but.
Oh.
I just thought he was asleep.
Oh well. We'll get rid of Jeff too. Let's see, 1, 2, 4, 5.
We have 9. Even with on the Skype, there's 9.
Well, if I do this, it's not that way anymore. Okay, there we go. We get rid of Jeff. I don't know what happened to Jeff. You know, but I'll leave that square in the middle empty in case anybody wants to call and fill it. You're still there, right, Patrick?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was afraid until you moved.
Yeah, we need to have mirrors under our noses so they can see that we can fog them.
Supposedly, according to sources, members of the Republican Party got together and talked to Trump about what happened at that rally and urged him to pull back on it because they said it just wasn't doing them any good.
I thought it was his wife and his daughter.
Well, then supposedly his daughter urged him too.
Somebody asked him before he got on the helicopter, and he said that was fake news.
Yeah.
Anything that doesn't fit his specifications is fake news.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
I mean,
you know,
Right, yeah.
I mean,
If it doesn't agree with him. Sure, that's how.
Fake news, yeah, is the method that Hitler used to discredit
yeah,
the press.
he just cuts them off and says that's fake news. That's fake news.
Lügenpresse.
Move on.
Yeah.
Lügenpresse. That was in Nazi Germany.
What's it called?
Lügenpresse.
Isn't that those shorts with the suspenders that are made out of leather?
No, that was the name that was given to the media because Hitler didn't like the news media. Lügenpresse is what he called it.
Well, I guess he has to have some redeeming qualities.
Well,
you know,
even Hitler.
Yeah. But it. I think the Republicans have a real conundrum here as to how they parse this whole thing. They don't want to throw their candidate to the wolves. On the other hand, they don't want to have to go back to their constituency and face them having looked like they were being too acquiescent to him.
In a week, this will be all blown over.
What do you mean a week
If
it'll
it's
all be blown
around
over?
here or around the Rust Belt, it won't matter because they're fine with it.
Any of these things, he's said some pretty horrendous things over the last couple of years.
There's plenty of
They just
Americans
go
here
away.
who are only first, second, third generation in this country. And I don't think it's going to disappear for them. You know how many times I was told to go back to where you came from? When I was growing up, it was ridiculous.
Was that West Bloomfield Hills?
No, I grew up in Diamondale, and I was in Diamondale when I was told to go back to where I came from. I'm like, okay, over there? And then when I realized it and understood it, I said, all right, I tell you what, I'll walk back to where I came from as soon as you walk back to where you came from, because my people could walk here.
Yeah.
Yours couldn't.
Well, Jeff's been quiet tonight because he hasn't been on, but he came back. Hi, Jeff.
Yeah, I was. I thought I was, but I wasn't.
You thought you were on?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
You're on too.
You got a full house again.
No, we haven't got a full house again. That's not-
Jeff, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
No,
8,
it's
9,
not,
10.
it's not a full
Yeah.
house yet. We need one
Yeah,
more.
it is.
No, it's not a full house. Full house is 10.
Yeah, we got 10.
I've got
You
10.
got 10. Yeah, you got Jeff, Charlie, Tony, Josh,
Wait a minute,
Patrick,
hold on a
me,
second. Let me
you,
look
Dan,
here.
Kevin,
There's
and,
a 12. There's a,
and Jason.
Really? Okay, I guess we do. I didn't realize that. I had the other
got 10
configuration
strings?
up. There we go. There's a full house, folks. That's what a full house looks like.
Hey.
I think it's I've just gotten to the point where I'm beside myself on this whole thing, and I think the Democrats have to be careful how they handle this. They've got to be very careful how they handle it, and I don't think they're being that careful.
They're eating their own.
Well, no,
You know what they actually should do
How are
right
they
now?
eating
They
their
shouldn't
own?
even.
They're going
they
after
shouldn't-
Biden.
Well, they're going
I'm sorry,
after
Josh.
Biden, but all those people are against each other because they're all vying for the
I
well,
talked
will you
over
listen to me? They're vying for the nomination
Position.
Yeah, that's not eating your own. That's healthy competition. Okay, I don't think they were eating Biden up. I think Biden was asked.
Biden stumbled.
But Biden stumbled. Yeah, but no. What I'm saying, and then I will go to Jason because he's got his hand up. Is that they've got to be very careful not to beat up on Trump. They can't make him the victim. What they've got to do is they've got to get out there and say, here's what I want to do for America. And then say, what I want to do for America is I want to make it more civil. I want us to get back to a civil discourse. And also I'm going to do this. I'm going to get you jobs. I'm going to this and that. And talk about how you're going to make people's lives better. And don't sit around the whole time saying we got to get rid of Trump.
That's what they're all saying. 24 of them.
Well, I don't think
Not-
Bernie
not
says
all
that.
24.
Bernie is, Bernie says stuff about Trump,
Yeah.
but most of the things that Bernie
Okay.
posts, I follow him on social media, is what he's going to do for the country, what he wants to do.
Jason had his hand up.
So,
Jason.
I
Jason.
guess maybe that was actually kind of part of it, but I don't think this whole thing about what was her name that took on Biden.
Harris.
Kamala Harris.
So, all right, I don't think what she did was anything special. I saw it and I was like, all right, your time's up. Your time's up.
You think
Your
it was
time's
planned?
up.
That
Yes,
was
I
a
think
planned
it was
attack?
planned. But
And
so
rehearsed?
I don't think it was anything special. It wasn't even big enough to make me remember her name. So I think some people think it was, and some people, I don't think it was anything. Doesn't put her on my radar whatsoever. It actually kind of turned me off of her a little bit because she was trying to pull some. I don't know.
It was a practiced, planned attack.
Exactly. I thought it was way too planned out. But
and they gave her too much credit for it.
The other part of it with Trump and his racism, the Democrats don't even talk about it. don't even, nothing to do with that. They should just be talking about, what am I going to do for the middle class? What am I going to do for these people who are the union workers who are almost turning away from the Democratic Party because they're not doing anything for them anymore? They're not the ones that sit there and say, we're pro-worker. You know, they need to get there and start talking about, what are we going to do for you, the middle class?
Patrick?
And just to bounce off of what Jason's saying, not that this is in my best interest, and I don't give a shit about the Democrats, but just watching this, AOC and the squad, by constantly re-bringing this shit up about Trump, is doing a great service to the president by diverting the attention from the immigrants down at the border. I haven't heard anything on those immigrants in almost a week.
Schumer brought it up today.
Well, maybe he did, but the last week, all you've heard on all the news cycles, on all the channels are racist, 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 not about illegal immigration, just for women of color. And I was laughing because I thought they screwed up a whole game plan. Those women.
They should be talking about what's going on the border. They should turn that into what is going on. You know, this is what he's saying to us, and this is why he's treating these people that way.
I gotta correct what you said, Jason. It's not what the Democrats want to do for the middle class. It's what the Democrats want to do to the middle class.
Oh, bullshit.
Yes,
Republicans would make it exist.
And that's the whole Republican redistribution of wealth. Oh, they don't want to redistribute it to the rich.
Redistribution? That's the socialist.
Because there has been a redistribution of wealth going on for the last 30 years, and it's just been going from the poor to the rich. And maybe we need to turn around that redistribution and put that from the rich back to the poor. Because
maybe you should become rich.
When the rich get all the money in Monopoly, what happens? They win, and nobody else has any money to spend.
Oh, by the way, we don't have a full house.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You got a full
Wait a
house.
minute. 1, 2. I mean,
you got to count yourself.
Count the Skype.
I'm counting. I'm counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
10.
No.
Alex, I got 11 actually.
No, somebody's frozen then on your thing.
See, I mean, because if I go, then who don't I have here? Is what
okay.
You
got yourself.
You got Jeff. You got Charlie. You got Tony.
I got 10.
Yeah, I got 10. I got Josh. I got Patrick.
Oh, I know who I don't have here.
You got to count Alex.
Is Kevin? Is Kevin there?
Kevin's there.
Yeah, I'm here.
I see. I don't see him on mine. Oh, okay. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Let me see here. That would be number 10, right? Which is Hog Rider.
You know, I'm usually right about these kinds of things.
Well, I mean, I just, I have so much to do here and trying to figure out who's where, when, and
He's
how.
the one person who's right that's wrong.
Go. There we go. Okay, Patrick has his hand up, and then Charlie had something he wanted to say. Yes. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. No, wait a minute. No, you guys are wrong.
No,
we're not missing somebody.
Then I can't figure out who I'm missing.
Okay.
I'm looking at Skype, I count 10. I'm looking at YouTube, I count 369.
Alex, read who you have off on your screen.
What?
Read who you have on your screen.
I count 10.
On my screen, I have Josh. I have
10 on YouTube now.
Jason. I have Charlie. I have Phil. I have Jeff.
You
have
doubled me
Kevin,
up, Alex.
And I've got him. And then I've got Patrick, and then I've got who? Get rid of that. And then I've got Dan. Okay, so who am I missing? Oh, I know who I'm missing. Tony. Here we go. Here we go. See, I mean, this gets very confusing for me.
It takes cognitive skills to do this.
I know, and I haven't got them anymore.
That's your hand's going to fall off.
That's because you don't have all your teeth.
Okay, there we go. No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I already had him there. I already had him up.
You didn't mention him.
Dan.
Okay, I'm gonna count. I'm gonna tell you the people. You count them. All right.
All right.
You got Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
You got Charlie. You got.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Yeah.
I think Patrick's hand is frozen
Patrick,
that way.
me,
wait a minute, Josh.
you.
Wait a minute, Josh and Patrick.
Dan.
Yeah.
Actually,
Who else? Hold on.
is Charlie still on? Because I don't
Who
have
else?
anyone.
Yeah, here.
Who else?
Oh, you're not on my screen.
You
no
want me
more.
to do it again? Use your fingers. You got 10 fingers.
Wait a minute,
No, you don't have 32
just
teeth.
let's do it and get it over with and get
Okay,
on with the
Jeff.
show.
Jeff, Charlie,
Yeah.
Tony, Josh, Patrick, me, you, Dan, Kevin, and Jason.
I've got. Here's who I've got. I've got Josh. I've got Jason. I've got Charlie. I've got you, Phil. I've got Jeff. I've got Kevin. I've got Patrick. I've got Dan, and I've got Tony. Is
And
that
what
it?
about
I don't
Kevin?
see
Oh, I mean,
Tony
Dan.
on YouTube.
You're not
I got
counting
9
right.
people on YouTube without Tony.
Without Tony. Okay, so what I got to
You
do.
got to remember, YouTube's 30 seconds behind too.
All
Yeah, that's
Here-
right.
Here,
There's a
here
delay.
we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
Now, there we go. Okay.
So you got to do the count on Skype
Okay.
because
Yeah.
that's the current.
Yep.
So is that that would be 9 people, right?
No, 10.
10. We got 10 with Tony.
I've got 9 people here, Phil.
You counted 9, but you didn't have Tony in your count.
No, I do have Tony in my count as 9th.
All right.
You're counting Alex?
Yes, I'm counting me.
Yeah.
I see 10
I see 10.
across the top of my screen, including me.
It's all good. Let's move on.
Who isn't there? Who isn't there?
Yeah.
No.
Everybody's there,
no,
and they're all moving.
No.
Yeah.
Do I have Dan in there? I
Yeah.
have Dan in
Well, I
there.
don't-
I'm here.
I have 4, and I give up. I'm telling
I
you
got
right
6.
now.
I got 6 bubbles and 4
Yep.
big
Jason
ones.
is left.
I'm telling you, I've got 9 people plus me.
Patrick's hand is numb.
9 people plus you is 10.
9 people plus you. That's 10.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
I'm
Right,
about
that's,
ready
that's
to
a full house.
bang
Well,
my
then
head
what?
against the
That's
wall.
what I was saying. I got 9 people of you and 1 of me.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
got to
full house.
add
That
you
makes
to get to the full house.
Fuck, I'm giving up. Why do I do this to myself? Why do I even have to do this? Yes, Patrick.
Well, I see Jason left. I want
He
to.
just walked away.
Yeah, he had
He's
enough.
there.
Well, then we only have 8 people now.
8 plus yourself, and we got Jason's room.
Oh, we got to start the count all over again.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Patrick was talking. What, Patrick?
What I was going to say is, again, bouncing off what Jason was talking about with that before the squad should start diverting the racism thing to the illegal alien issue. And what I was going to say is they're not smart enough to do that because they have not the experience. And that's where somebody like Nancy Pelosi, they should take her guidance because she's been there. She would know how to guide the discussion. But those 4 women, they want to extricate themselves and be all by themselves as a squad because they're all special. They see themselves as that because they're the freshmen and they're the most popular right now. And what they need to do, just like everybody that enters a new company, they need to shut up and they need to listen sometime to the people who know, who have been there. And that's where this discussion
okay.
now, said the last week, has not been about the border anymore. It's been about these 4 women and supposed all this racism, and they themselves have screwed up the whole plan for the party.
Well,
So-
let me disagree with you to a certain extent here. Okay, to begin with, you have to appreciate the position they're in. To begin with, AOC, a lot of attention has been paid to her because she's camera friendly. Okay, and
Yeah,
then
fair enough.
and by the way, fairly well spoken when she says stuff. I mean, she's
very smart.
She's very smart. So she's easy on the eyes, and she's smart, and she's always good for a quote, so the press is always there. The out of the other 2 women, the Somalian, what's her name?
Ilian Omar or something.
Oh, Ilian Omar.
Ilian Omar. has been talking a lot because she feels that she's really been the one put upon, because more than anybody else, she's the one that fits the thing of being from another country.
Oh yeah, that's what.
And
she's
what
loose.
I've heard her say has been very measured and very good. And she's just saying, this isn't about me. This is about all people who come to this country looking for a better life, you know. And she's been talking about that. I think if you listen to these people, they're not really rabble rousing, okay?
No.
Taking away from the message that I think the party is trying to do, and they're the ones that keep putting Trump back in the news. And everybody on this panel has said at various times, you got to stop talking about Trump because you just.
Trump was the one who started the concentration camps down there. I mean, he didn't start them, but he exacerbated them. So, you know, you got to mention his name because he is the president.
If we didn't talk about Trump, we wouldn't have a show.
Well, you know, I wouldn't blame AOC or those or the women for putting Trump in the news. I would blame the news for putting Trump in the news every day.
Oh, yeah.
I think that you know, I mean, I yearn for the days when we had a president who maybe we heard from maybe twice a week. Okay, this is a guy who gets up in the morning and says, "Okay, how am I going to get my face on TV today?" I mean, every time he walks out of the White House to the helicopter, he does a press conference. Do you know any other president who did that?
Hey, what do they say about publicity? All publicity is what?
It's
Good
not,
publicity.
Well,
that's what Trump
then
thinks.
then ask Harvey
Obviously,
Weinstein and Kevin Spacey if that's true.
Well, it is now.
You know, no.
But look, that's the thing with the squad. I mean, they're getting the press as well, and every time they keep talking about the racism or whatever,
The press isn't covered when they talk about other stuff.
I see them on the news all the time, and like I said, there are other things like the border that haven't even been touched for a week.
Because the press isn't asking.
Yeah, but if they, even if Patrick, hold on a second. Even if they talked about the,
People are talking about the border.
Even if they talked about
just
the
been
border.
last week since all these
Wait a minute,
tweets and everything.
hey, Pat, Dan, let me just say what I had to say.
All right, go ahead.
You know, it's the press who decides and picks and chooses what the main topics of conversation are going to be every day. And if all of a sudden they started talking about the border, the press wouldn't be picking up on what they were saying. Okay? They only pick up on the other stuff. That's what I'm saying. You know, you got to blame the press and not all of them, because they're all looking for the sexiest story they can run.
But those four women, they don't seem to have the smarts enough to listen to their elders either, who would have the ability to strategize with them.
I don't think they should. What were you saying? What were you saying, Charlie?
That's only the way the press portrays them. When they talk about other stuff, the press won't fucking cover it. They won't put on the news when they talk about the border. They've been talking about it all week, but you don't see it on the news.
Yeah, I mean, you got to remember what's her name? OAC went down to the border. She went down to those camps.
Yeah.
She saw them. She talked about them. They covered her moderately. But
it was like last week.
But you know,
she talked about it this week.
Yeah.
But you know, that is maybe that they do need to listen to their elders to a point and learn how I'm saying just to learn the art of how you're gonna do what you're doing, because I'm on the four girl side, man. You know, they should be shouting out about what's going on right now, but they also should be, you know, with the racism with Trump, but they also need to curve it to what, you know, they have been talking about in the past with the borders. They need to learn how to curve it the right way. It's just, I don't think they're doing it.
Part of the problem is that
plenty of people who do that.
Yeah, part of the problem is the story, the big story, and the press every day chooses what the big story is. The big story has been Trump telling these women to go back where they came from. Initially, he said it, and it was so moronic because only one of them was from someplace else, okay? And he didn't even realize that. But that became the story. So now when they go to these 4 women, what they want from them is they don't want them to say, well, we don't want to talk about that, but let's talk about the border, in which case they turn their cameras off and go looking for another story. You know, so it's really what the press chooses to cover them doing. I happen to think these are 4 sharp women who are getting the Democratic Party to change its conscience. And I think we need that.
At least they're trying to. I don't know if they're succeeding yet.
But I think they're the same ones that are changing it from manhole to maintenance hole.
They
No,
may.
I think-
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
can I say
Hold on.
something?
Let me finish. They may be. Seem to be a little radical and seem to be, making a lot of noise. But that's what's needed. You know, we need that element. And it's only 4 of them. You know. But they are saying something that I think needs to be said. And I think that you can't just say, oh, Nancy Pelosi is the end all of the Democratic Party. No, these 4 women are the new Democratic Party. These are the women coming up, and they are trying to make a difference within their small little group. Yes, Dan.
Oh, Phil had his hand.
Phil had his hand. Wait, Phil, wait a minute. Hold on, Dan. Phil had his hand up first, then
All right.
we'll go to
Okay, go ahead.
And don't cut me off on this. I think that AOC is
Hey,
using
Alex,
Trump.
did you hear? Don't cut him off on this.
Right.
Oh, okay.
AOC is using Trump's tactics on Trump. She is actually kind of doing exactly what he did, and what she's trying to do is stay in the news so she can get reelected. I think this is more about her reelection than anything else. Let me
to begin
finish.
with, but you're wrong. You're wrong because
no,
her reelection
right
is
now-
like almost 2 years away. Okay.
It doesn't matter. Right now, her approval rating is 11%, and
11% among who? Among who?
AOC.
Among who?
Her district.
No, I disagree with you. Her district
this is-
absolutely loves her, Phil. I
Well,
live
this
here.
is what I heard on the news.
Well,
It was
which
11%.
news?
Fox News.
I don't know which.
Well, we know which news, Phil.
Her
So,
district
so
Republican.
NRA
but if you look at that, you could say to yourself that what she's doing is trying to stay in the news, getting the free publicity that she can get, so that
Phil,
when it's
Phil,
time to get
Phil,
elected,
isn't there a possibility that she's doing what she's doing because she thinks it's for the good of the country and she thinks it needs to be said?
we'll see. I think she's just trying to cash in.
Well,
I think
how's she
she's no
cashing
different than the
in?
rest of
She's a shoo-in to get reelected in her district. No question
I'll
about
look it up.
Yeah.
What her
Okay.
approval rating is.
I think Phil just proves that Republicans, I figured out with Republicans, it's all projection.
Yep.
Everything that Republicans say about Democrats is all projection.
Yeah.
Because that's what Phil's doing right now. Because he can't imagine that somebody would do something for genuine reasons.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
Because Republicans, they're not that way.
And by the way,
I think Trump is doing it
let me argue something also, Patrick, that of the 4 women, only 2 of them really have done much talking, and that's OAC and Omar. And Omar because she was the main person being attacked by Trump.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I believe it was Omar who opened her yap and said that it's up to the speaker to come to us for a meeting rather than us go to her. I thought that was pretty ballsy considering you're a young flash in the pan that just getting a little bit of publicity.
Yeah.
You know, again, you might want to shut your mouth and listen to some of your elders and get some fucking experience before you start running your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And I when I heard that, and I don't like it, but I do believe that there's a hierarchy, that when you get to a job, you learn from the people who've been there before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like I said, when she said it's up to Pelosi to come to me or to come to us, and you got to be shitting me. That's pretty ballsy.
Yeah, I like that. Yes, Patrick. I mean, yes,
NBC, Washington Examiner. Which way does the Washington Examiner go?
Very
Is it left
right
or
wing.
Okay, what about CNBC?
CNBC is
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's approval rating in New York declines following Amazon, yada yada.
Amazon what? Following
have anything to
Amazon
do with
what?
Amazon.
What? Read the article. What Amazon what?
I have to press on
headquartered
it.
out in New
Following Amazon deal collapse while Trump hammers Democrats over
All right.
socialism.
All right. Now go and look at the date on that article.
Yeah, that was months
last
ago.
year.
Looks like March.
Okay. So it's old news, Phil.
Well, no, but the other polls are recent, but you won't like where they come from.
What did the one about Amazon say was her approval rating?
That one didn't say what her approval rating is. The other one said they were 21 and 22%, and Fox News.
Well, that's higher than Congress's approval rating.
Yeah, really. No, this is in her district. Said here's one Business Insider. It says poll Representative Cortez had 22% approval rating amongst 1,003 white non-college educated voters that knew her.
Oh, I see. And what's the date? What's the date on that article, Phil? What's the date on that article? What's the date on that article?
Business
Fox
Insider.
News is demographic.
What's the date on that article?
I'm looking. July 15th, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Business Insider.
Yeah, a particular part, the old part, uneducated part of her district.
Well, that's
Not
her whole
entire
district.
Phil,
What do you think? The Bronx is
Phil,
she
will get reelected.
Bronx and Queens.
I will bet you money
There
she
are
gets
young people
reelected.
in the Bronx.
You know, only
you're talking
17%
about Tony there.
Only 17% of the voters came out during that election. That's why that Joe, whatever his name is, lost his seat. Crowley. That's why he lost his seat, because of such a low voter turnout.
Did you go vote, Tony?
No, I didn't.
See? It's your fault. That Joe Crowley is unemployed.
Joe Crowley, actually, he don't even live in Queens. I hear he lives in Virginia. I'm not bullshitting about that. The Crowleys are powerful here. The Crowleys have been in politics but he's been here for like forever since I could be like 15 years, 20 years easy.
So was
Because
Trump.
he's about late 60s, Crowley, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Crowleys are big. They're all lawyers or into politics.
Well, all I'm saying is that they were the subject of a tirade by Trump, and they took the bait and they fought back. Trying to fight for their honor, as it were. So you can't blame them for that. The only thing I would blame them for is, yes, maybe they're not seasoned enough to know the best thing you can do is just not respond to it, because that will drive Trump crazy. And that's the one thing that all the Democrats should know. If you don't mention Donald Trump in your running,
you know what they should do? Those women, they should actually play a joke at him and say how great he looks. I wonder how he would react to that. Like, that's Trump. He really is one sexy guy. I wonder what he would say to that.
Well, to begin with, we know what a lying bunch of fuckers Congress is if they said that. Yes, Dan.
They don't even have to say
We're running out of time.
I was just going to say, like it or not, Trump is popular. And if you talk about Trump, love him or hate him, you're going to get the cameras on you. So there's that. But all in all, I really think the squad, I really like them. They are very camera friendly, very attractive. I'll say that. But at the same time,
Dan, you think a blow-up doll is camera attractive?
Whatever. I mean, they're saying what needs to be said. If they're not 100% perfect, yeah, they'll need more experience to kind of fine-tune their game a little bit. But they're just striking all the fires hot.
Well, if you listen closely, that's our theme, ladies and gentlemen. Boy. Got a lot of people here now. You hardly said anything tonight, Jeff, but hi. and I don't know, Josh, you haven't even jumped in at all tonight.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, no, that's okay. If you don't mind it, we don't mind it. But you're so damn smart. We like hearing from you as much as we can.
I'll be here next week.
Thank you, and thank you, Jason, and thank you, Charlie, and thank you, Phil, and thank you, Jeff, and thank you, Kevin, and thank you, Patrick, and thank you, Dan, and thank you, Tony. Hey, I got them all. I'm not losing my marbles as bad as I thought I was. Anyway, why don't you all give a big wave goodbye, and I'll wave back at you, okay? And that's our citizen panel for tonight. Let me hang up on them and unceremoniously and get rid of my my Skype. Well, I left it. Hold on a second. I gotta put the Skype back on so that I can turn my Skype off. There we go. Okay, I want to get rid of the make myself invisible. There we go. Okay, that's it. All right. That takes care of it. Hey, listen, that's it for tonight. That's it for the week. We're back again on Tuesday. Jack Bishop and The Intersection is next over, most of the same station. I'll see you on Tuesday night right here at 10 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, same station in life. And in the meantime, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye, everybody. Have a nice weekend.